What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more UB40, and the reason we've had a long layover between the last reaction and this one is because great friend of the channel, Adam, he's had to reboot his server, and when he's been putting materials back onto it, some of the releases that he uploaded weren't the same ones that had been available beforehand. So the point is, I'd been going through the Best of UB40 1980 to 2000 compilation, but that one isn't back on Adam's server yet, but he did put up a Best of UB40 Volume 1 compilation. So for the time being, I'm just going to start going through that, and at some point, maybe he's going to get the Best of UB40 1980 to 2001 back on, and then we can continue in that playlist where we left off. And I'm guessing there's probably some crossover, meaning probably at least a handful of tunes that are on both of these compilations. In any case, I downloaded the tune King from the Best of UB40 Volume 1, and I don't think I've reacted to that one yet. So yes, let's continue with UB40, and we'll just go through whatever I have available, and we'll keep writing as long as I have access to new materials. So yes, King, if this were a lot of reggae I listen to, I would immediately think it could be a reference to Haile Selassie, but I wonder if that's a reference they might make. Now again, I'm still very new to their larger catalog, beyond a couple tunes that I knew going back to the 90s. So I suppose that is still possible, but maybe this is the usage of the term king in an ironic or even a critical way, the idea of someone who presents themselves as having regal importance or tries to lord over others and command them to do things, and it could be taking a critical view of that. So I don't quite know what to expect. They are a UK band, right? So I suppose it could be a reference to the British monarchy, though at the time, if this is indeed, any time going back multiple decades, the reigning monarch of the UK was a queen, so maybe I find that less likely. In any case, I'll try to catch what I can. This is UB40, who I'm very happy to get back to. The song is King, and it's actually a tune from the Best of UB40 Volume 1 compilation, which has this cool black and white, like composite image on the front where they seem to be in a pub and all the members of the band are shown in color, and then other people who are sort of background or not part of the group are shown in black and white, which I do enjoy the aesthetic of that. So here we go. This is UB40, and the song is King.
What a dream of a promised land. People of nations walking hand in hand. They're not ready to accept that dream situation yet. Where are your people now? Chained and pacified. Try in vain to show them
I love that. I enjoy, number one, all the rhythm and configuration shifts. There's a couple points where, you know, if you didn't know better, you'd think the track was actually coming to an end, and then some drums would roll back in, or some vocals would come forward from the background with a nice echoed quality. So I like the way it kept shifting and evolving over the course of the track. I would put that maybe in a dub type of subgenre, which again, sometimes reggae will have stylings from a couple different categories. But yeah, it had a bit of a dub sound with that deep bass, which there were a couple sections in particular where you could hear it pulsing away. I like all the different keyboard runs, including a couple that were just kind of these keys like in rhythm, and then it would go to like a higher pitch of the same rhythm, and there were some nice flourishes, you know, it's like sliding down the keys. I also enjoyed those drum rolls and the way it would break like seemingly like one beat early into the next measure. I like the rhythm of that. And yeah, some cool vocals. Hello, Luca, what are you looking at? And yes, I like lyrically, I'm still not entirely sure what's happening. And in one way, it feels like it could be critical. The idea of like, King, where are your people now? And I love that section where like one of the vocalists came in with a high and very sonorous voice, and he was talking about like, you know, creating this, what was it, like a kingdom or a place where everyone can go and, you know, different kinds of people can be together, which feels again like a very Rasta concept, and maybe even specifically talking about Haile Selassie. And yet again, that phrase like, King, where are your people now, you could read that maybe as critical, the idea of like, you know, you've lost your flock, or you're not presiding over this kingdom, or you haven't created a kingdom, people have left to go other places, maybe because, you know, they've been tempted and they, you know, are pursuing vices and they're not following, you know, your path or the way that you've set out for everyone. So yeah, I don't quite know how to take the lyrics, and I feel like maybe it is in the vein of, you know, seeking salvation and some of the concepts which are very much part of Rastafari, but I don't know, you know, enough about their history or maybe even the belief system itself. I listen to a lot of reggae, and, you know, some concepts and some of the terminology that's used, like calling things Babylon, I am very conversant in, but some of the ins and out and the nuances, I'm not entirely erudite about. So yes, if that is what's happening here, I don't quite know how to take some of the lines. Are you taking off? Well, I guess it's the end of the video, so it makes sense. But either way, I very much enjoyed this one, in the echoic, relatively stripped down sonics, even though again there's some flourishing keyboards along the way. Enjoyed the vocals. As I said, I'm happy to get back to UB40. It had been a couple months, and that was partly because the compilation I had been working from wasn't available, but I figure if we have this other one, we'll start going through songs from it, and again, if there's any crossover, it'll, you know, essentially be taken care of. I hate that phrase, kill two birds with one stone. Nevertheless, we'll be able to make sure that I'm not repeating anything, but we'll have 2 playlists to work from. And I imagine, again, at some point, the 1980 to 2001 will be available again. So once again, shout out to Adam and to all the folks who've been waiting for the next UB40 reaction. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.